Head for the park and greet the Mets. Hot dogs, green grass, all out of shade. Guaranteed to have a heck of a day because those Mets are really rocking that ball, hitting those home runs over the wall. In Jersey, Brooklyn, Queens, uptown and down. Let's go Mets! That's the cheer all over New York town. Meet the Mets, meet the Mets, meet the Mets, meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Head for the park and greet the Mets. Hot dogs, green grass, all out of shade. Guaranteed to have a heck of a day because those Mets are really rocking the ball, hitting those home runs over the wall. New Jersey, Brooklyn, Queens, uptown and down. Let's go Mets! That's the cheer all over New York town. Meet the Mets. Let's go Mets!
Hi, everybody. This is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion, your host, the Hut, and I am back here again talking about our New York Mets and Carlos Correa for the millionth time over the last 2 days. It's been crazy. It's been very quiet. I don't know if the quiet is a good thing. And, let me just get into the chat. Hello, Swaggy Burger. Hello, Randy Fernandez. Hello, Christian JMJ. Daily MLB content. And the New Jersey, the NJ Swamp Fox. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe and like this video. And if you're watching our replay, don't be afraid to leave comments. I do read all the comments, good, bad, or indifferent. So I'll be on for a little bit. I don't want to keep you. I know there are other shows that are going to wreck this channel, but I'm on too long. I want to maximize the audience. It seems that Nathan Eovaldi's off the board. He is signed with the Texas Rangers. There's the Rangers. Now they can guarantee that they will win 75 games instead of 74 in 2023. But you're getting the sense that Correa has basically told the Mets, take it or leave it. It doesn't seem like he wants to negotiate in terms of paring down the years and paring down the money and the deal that he has agreed to with the Mets. Now, I don't know where he gets off thinking that he could dictate when he's now failed, again, two different physicals, one with the Giants and now with the Mets. I don't know where he thinks he gets that chutzpah, as Chris Russo would say. But obviously, I don't know what he's thinking. I guess he has to save face with the fact that this injury is a problem. When you hear things like I read earlier in the live stream, last year he got into like I guess a collision with a player with the Royals, and his leg was vibrating because he's got a metal plate in there. You think he hit his head? Imagine if he had a metal plate in his head. You're gonna be like Don Zimmer and have that metal plate in your head, and you get hit beamed, and you'll have the ears ringing. Daily MLB content. Per my source, they are saying he doesn't want to make a new contract. He wants to keep his 12. Oh, he's crazy. And it seems like the Mets want to at least put provision. It doesn't seem like he's all that enamored with it. Well, then let him go. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Mets walking away from this. They don't need him. I said that earlier. Mets don't need him. They won 101 games. And if you won 101 games, you're doing it from a place of strength. If you're doing things based off of strength, there's no reason to be going back and panicking about this particular player. The Muffin. Hello? If Correa does agree to the Mets, they are winning the World Series. As a Dodger fan, you don't know that. You don't know what the future may hold. And getting into postseason is a crapshoot. Mets won 101 games. The Phillies went to the World Series. Shane Wick 722. Let's go. Mud, how you doing? No name Annan. How are you? Jed Lowry has nothing to do with the situation. Let go of the past. No name says this. If Correa doesn't want a 2-year deal, walk away. I just said that the rumor is that he's not interested in changing the contract. And he shouldn't be asked for 2 years. So based on what you want, that deal's not going to happen. Now, it's interesting to note that the Twins, they didn't have a problem, offering him a 10-year deal. I guess he'll be going back to Minnesota, where they struggled to win 80 games, Josh reaction videos and more. 2 years, $35 million. Eovaldi. Nathan Eovaldi is a good pitcher in the big games, but who the hell knows what the Rangers are doing? They have a pitching staff. It's just a very strange staff now. Jeff Pozzon has the deal. Right-hander Nathan Eovaldi. I'll do my Hut Summers impression. Right-hander Nathan Eovaldi and the Texas Rangers are in agreement on a 2-year, $34 million contract that includes a 3rd-year vesting player option. Sources familiar with the deal tell ESPN. The Metropolitans were not involved. I did not hear him involved with the New York Metropolitans. So this is crazy. The Rangers have given up 2 picks for Jacob deGrom. That's again a second pick for Jacob deGrom. And they're giving up a pick to the Red Sox for Eovaldi. They're crazy. Especially for Eovaldi. Wow, that's crazy. No Name says, I would have given Trey Turner 3 years. Trey Turner he's better than any of these players, any of these other shortstops. No Name, you're not a good negotiator. You would not be a good agent. Hold on, I need a drink. Look. Hello, Aaron Gandhi. Hello, Southern Cal Mets fan, a.k.a. William. Skadoosh Correa. Yeah, William and I don't agree. We don't want this guy here. Mets have so much leverage here. Mets don't need him. He needs the Mets. It's right. He don't want to play in Minnesota. You know, he wants to play on a big stage. He wants a chance to go to the World Series again. You know. No Name says get Luis Arias to replace Guillorme. Why? Guillorme's not an everyday player. Arias is an everyday player. He's just spouting off. Get left fielders. What even better? Get a center fielder to play left. Well, the Mets have a center fielder. If you did not know, the Mets have a center fielder. No Name. His name is Brandon Nimmo. Now, please like this video if you come into row and subscribe if you want to participate in the chat. I will talk to you. You do not necessarily have to send me a super chat for me to acknowledge your existence. I do not act like it is a privilege. Oh, it is a privilege to watch me. Or maybe it's a privilege to listen to me. It's not a privilege to watch me. But I don't act like that. Hello, John Rossi. Hello. We should still sign Duvall just in case. Your name's just he's spouting off crazy stuff. Mullins, Byron Buxton, who seemed to be like the favorite, like go-to name of the YouTubers, except for myself. What do we know about Byron Buxton? One, he's very talented. Well, three things. One, he's very talented, and he's always hurt. And when he's not hurt, he's terrible when he plays. When he plays a full season. Swaggenberger. I say we roll with Beatty, at least until he's ready, and maybe platoon Escobar every now and then. I don't know. I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, I have no problem with Escobar. I really like him a lot. I mean, the Mets won 100 games last year. It's not, Mets have everything. They have all the leverage here. There's no rush to sign to Correa. They don't have to sign Correa. So what's the point? Why are we getting all like, what's the rush? Swaggenberg, I say we. Oh, I already said that. D74, how you doing? Hey, Hut. No leaks likely. They're not ripping each other in the media because they're having productive talks. I'm being optimistic. Cohen is a shark in a pool of goldfish. Now, I would point about this. Is he already said that that the Mets are going to sign Correa? So this is about not embarrassing each side. So I don't think either side wants to embarrass each other. No Name is just bringing up everything. Bobby Bonilla, really? Do you know that last year Bruce Sutter passed away? I don't know if you know that. The Hall of Fame closer for the for the Cubs, for the Cardinals, the Braves. He's the inventor of the. He's the inventor of the splitter. He was still being paid last year by the St. Louis Cardinals. And he had not played for the Cardinals in like 40 years. So the Cardinals were paying him for 40 years not to play for them and deferred payments. But for some reason, Bobby Bonilla, because he was such a controversial figure here, and it was such a disaster as a New York Met, every Tom, Dick, and a-hole brings him up without knowing that baseball does this with every player. Ken Griffey Jr. has deferred payments. So there's a lot of players that have this, but for some reason, Bobby Bonilla gets brought up. I think you need to let this go, No Name. No Name, at least he's got something new. Who's better out of the three rejects? Oh, that's great. You tell their family that they're rejects. Provar, Duvall, or Pollock. I don't like any three of them. Mets need a left-handed bat in the outfield. I'm going to just keep reading this stuff. What's wrong with Cedric Mullins? There's nothing wrong with Cedric Mullins except that the Orioles are not moving any of their young players. Okay. Now, no name. I don't normally do this. Okay, I don't normally do this. But no name. I'm going to put you on a bit of a timeout because you just spouting at every player you can think of. Most of these players that you're bringing up, they're not going to be here. So I'll put you a bit on a timeout for a few minutes. Just for you to take it. Okay. Take a breath. You're going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You've not been sent off to the Phantom Zone. What you're doing isn't, but it's annoying. Hello, Frank? Well, the Mets still paying Bobby Bonita, but they're going to be paying him for a long time. It's okay. It's not your money. It's not my money. Don't worry about it. Everybody gets all uptight about Bobby Bonita. Who cares? Does that matter to anybody? No. Just want to talk about it. I don't care. It's none of my business. Hello, Stony814. Hello, Paul. Any updates? Well, no. I guess no news is good news, but then it depends on how you fall in line with this whole thing. Let's see. Nothing yet. I'm still looking. Still looking. Now, of course, like I said, want to participate in the chat, please don't be afraid to subscribe. Got to wait for 5 minutes, and you can talk to me all you want. Well, John Roach says, regardless of what happens, they need to keep baiting. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about the third base prospects the Mets have. Okay, we know they still have a need for power because Correa is just not. He's just not going to provide enough power. He's basically replacing Escobar as a power hitter. He only hit 6 more home runs than Escobar last year, and he drove in fewer runs. So you're not talking about a major increase in production. So, and here's the thing about Correa, the guy's never hit 30 home runs. He's never driven 100 runs batted in. Most of his wins above replacement is based off of his defensive ability, which he's a great defensive player. But you can't get crazy and think you're going to get a 35 home run guy. He's never done that. And he's 28 years old. He should have been able to show you that he was capable of doing that. And he has not shown that in the years that he's been in the majors. He's been in the majors 7 full seasons. He has not shown you that. Now, he's been good in postseason. He's hit 18 home runs in postseason. But just keep that in mind. They're still going to need power because, like I said, it's only 6 more home runs they're bringing in here. And he's not going to be batting in the middle of this lineup. He's going to be batting at the top of this lineup. He's probably going to be batting second in this lineup. So just keep that in mind. And he's only driven in 90 runs twice. And on a great team. He's not doing it on the Twins. He's doing that stuff on a great team. So he's not driving in 100 runs. Stoney says, gosh darn it, I just spilled my pop. Well, first of all, who says pop anymore? And secondly, get a dribble glass. You don't have to worry about spilling anything. Hello, Greg Zeman. Any rumors on a reliever or another bat? The only thing we've heard about is Correa. That's it. I've heard nothing about a reliever. I don't expect the Mets to bring in Andrew Chafin. I would be very surprised if he gets signed with the Mets now because of the trade they made for Rayleigh a couple of weeks ago. I don't expect anything from that. I really don't. They'll bring in probably a couple guys on some minor league deals. They have a main lefty now, which he's better than Rodriguez was. We all know that. I'm joking, Stoney. I say things that people take it serious. But that was I saying? Anyway, Randy, you really believe that the Mets would trade for Devers before the season starts if Correa doesn't come here? Who knows? I mean, there's really nothing in the really of note in the in my view in the free agent market now. I mean, the guy that I wanted here that I would have been fine with is Mike Conforto, which he went to the Giants. What a terrible. His free agency gets worse and worse. It really does. That is the last place he should be going. How's he going to get his home run value up? Being there. You had teams on him, and teams better than the Giants. The Yankees were interested, supposedly. Houston was supposedly interested. He had a deal with Houston last year, and they didn't sign it. The Blue Jays, up until they made that deal for Varshall. The Rockies, he could have signed with the Rockies. The Cubs, he could have signed with the Cubs. New Jersey Swamp Fox would love to see Hendricks and or that Diaz kid's bro as a Met to really have a lockdown pen. Well, you never know who's going to pitch well out of bullpen. Like last year, Edwin Diaz had a career year. So I don't expect that to be. I don't expect Hendricks to get traded because the honest truth is that the White Sox came out last week and said that they weren't moving him. They were shopping him, but they're not moving him now. And they were 81-81. They can win that division. With the extra teams that get into postseason, they can really. There's no reason for him to move anybody. Not yet anyway. He'll if the White Sox are a disaster again, they will move Hendricks, and the Mets will be in on him. And so will Lucas Giolito. Keep an eye on him. He's going to get moved because he's on the last year of his contract. Southern Cal Mets fan, the Cubs should have signed Conforto over Bellinger. I agree. I'm glad Bellinger didn't come here. He was the other guy everybody was like clamoring for to come here instead of Nimmo. That guy he sucks. I don't care what anybody says. He's terrible. I'm glad the Mets didn't get him. I would have been really pissed if they got him. He's terrible. Oh, he's a great outfielder. You want that guy here. He's going to play great defense. Yeah, but he can't hit. He's at 175 in the last 2 years. He's had an injury. You don't want him. John Rossi, this whole Correa thing is holding them up from other possible moves. Like what? Like what? What other possible moves? Yeah, really, there really isn't that many possible moves, to be honest with you. Mets really only need. If they can get another right-hander in the bullpen with some experience, that's one thing. And they can get another outfielder in here, preferably a left-handed hitting outfielder. It really that's really what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at here. I don't see them looking at anything major, unless this thing with Correa falls apart and Cohen says make a big move. So that's why this doesn't hold them up. And I would mention that we're in the we're still in the middle of Christmas holiday period. Next this Sunday is New Year's Day and New Year's Eve. So after today, it's only 3 business days. There's only 3 business days for teams to work. So I don't know what to expect. Okay, with this Correa thing, I'm being honest with you. I've said this. I am not a fan of the player. Okay. I don't think that he is a major improvement offensively over Eduardo Escobar. So that's how I look at it. Hello, Joe Anthony. Hello, Brian Perez. Again, please subscribe. Please subscribe to the Baseball Hut and like this video. Ramon Isa says, hello. You see a bullpen arm and who you can see. Who I can see? I don't know. There really isn't a lot on the market now, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't really see anybody here of note that would be interesting to me. You know, some of the guys the Mets had that were here for a long time, they're gone. I really want to see Trevor Williams come back. He's not. He's gone. He went to the Nationals. That's a pit stop. Seth Lugo, which I was like half and half on, he went to the Padres. Um, so they're not going to be spending a lot of money on this next bullpen piece. They're not. Brian Perez asks, Braves getting Carl? No. They're not signing Dansby Swanson. Dansby Swan. I'll get his name right. Dansby Swanson. They call him Swansby earlier. I don't know what the hell was on. Dansby Swanson. They're not signing him. They're not signing Correa. They don't sign big players outside their organization. It's just like when I said that the Braves weren't signing Jacob deGrom. You know. You know. In my view, to be honest with you, the guy I really wanted here of these guys that were shortstops this offseason was Trey Turner, because you could lead him off or bat second. That would have been some top of the lineup with him and Nimmo. I mean, really. Eric Paz. Let's go Mets. An irresistible chicken sandwich. The suspense is maddening. Take it easy, man. You're just a sandwich. You don't know the ways of money and how human beings do this stuff, man. You got to understand, being a sandwich, you may not be aware of, and you're a chicken. A cooked chicken on a patty on two pieces of bread. Are you like a patty or you cut turkey? I mean, cut chicken. So you don't understand the ways of capitalism. Most people don't understand the ways of capitalism. Sort of learned that about how people are talking to me in the comments and the videos. Hold on, I need a drink. Look. Trey Turner. Let's see. Aaron Gandhi says Trey Turner's overrated as strikeout king. Did you see Dansby Swanson? Let me take a look at Trey Turner. And meanwhile, please like this video. Let's see. Okay. Trey Turner has been in the majors 8 seasons, 7 full seasons. Half of that time, he has struck out more than 100 times. But Trey Turner has won a batting title. He's led the league in stolen bases twice. He's led the league in total bases twice. This guy is a good player. He's hit 20 home runs twice in his career, which is interesting since the leadoff batter. He scored 100 runs 3 times. All these guys strike out a lot. Other than Jeff McNeil, everybody strikes out a lot. And he's healthy. This guy stays healthy for the most part. 2016, he played half a season, but he was a young player. 2018, 162 games. 2019, 122 games. Missed 1 game in 2020. Played 148 in 21. And played 160 games in 22. He's 29 years old. That guy, he's a good player. Impact player. And eventually, he's not going to be a shortstop. Eventually, he'll be like third base or DH or something like that. He's got a lot of talent. And he's getting better, too. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 times he's hit 300. That guy's a good player. Robert Becker. Hello, Robert. We should just let him walk. If another one wants to take a chance, then let them. He really isn't an upgrade over our current third base. Exactly. Stony 814. Could Devers play second base, Hut, or just third base? No, he's not a second baseman. Why would you want him playing second? Jeff McNeil's playing second. Devers is a middle of the order guy. He's a three through five hitter. He's a good bat. Oh, God, you're gone, no name. I mean, they're just stupid comps. Bye bye. Gets annoying after a while. Um, let's have catchers. Let's have good catchers now. Now that James McCann's hit is out of here, they don't. They don't need any catchers. Bye bye. Take that to some other channel that ignores you. At least skadoosh. Yep, pretty much. Just annoying. It's like grow up. Grow up. Stop throwing stuff out there. I warned you. I did warn you. Joe Anthony, would you be shocked that McCann does well with the Orioles? I couldn't care less. He's just out of here. I sure enough for him. If he does well, great for him. If he doesn't do well, I'm not surprised. I am not a big fan of his. I don't care what happened to him. I'm just glad he's off the Mets, and everybody else should be too. Don't worry about these players that get moved. You can't be getting yourself crazy about you can't trade McCann because if McCann goes, he's going to play great for the Orioles. You can't trade James McCann. Oh man, you can't trade James McCann. You trade him, then he's going to have a big series against the Mets when they play them in August. You can't do things like that. Just get rid of him. The guy was costing the Mets games like crazy. You can't have him here. Why'd the Mets do that? Get him out of here. And they got rid of him. And I know that Buck recognized the fact that he wasn't any good because he was playing down the stretch in September, and he played him all the big games against the Braves and the Padres. Oh man, James McCann. Why did the Mets trade him? They got nothing for him. I can see it now. James McCann got revenge on the Mets this weekend. He got a big hit against Edwin Diaz late. I can see it now. Who cares? Just get him out of here. It affects one game in the season. If he comes back and gets the Mets in a game. He got a single in the first inning. Why the Mets in the third inning? Why the Mets trade him? Why? Why? It's the same thing with Dom Smith. Dom Smith will be the same. Dom Smith will, when he finally signs with some team, I know he hasn't signed with anybody yet. He's going to get a minor league deal. He's going to get a minor league invite to some team. And what happened with Dom will be the same thing. Dom, he's hit 240 in April. He hit 240 in April. Why'd the Mets move him? Man, I thought he was going to be a star. He's so great. Let's get him out of here. He was disgruntled. He wanted to be out of here. That's an example of the opposite thing with Buck Showalter. Okay? He's the opposite. We saw with Jeff McNeil, he reverted back to being a great hitter and an all-star. We also saw with Francisco Lindor that Lindor became a great player like he was with Cleveland. And we saw Dom Smith take a major step back to where he didn't hit any home runs last year. Okay? And he didn't hit any home runs in the second half of 21. His whole career has fallen apart. That's an example of pressure of a guy when the pressure's really on. I kind of learned this about Dom, that when there was nobody in the ballpark, he played great. But when there are people in the ballpark and there was pressure, then, I kind of had a feeling that I didn't like him anyway because I just didn't think his bat was fast enough. Ty Johnston 1 says, McCann had a gun for an arm. Okay. I like a guy that can catch the ball. that can block the plate. And can hit a little bit. He couldn't hit at all. He was terrible. It's not just about a guy with an arm. You're going to be like that. Just put a machine out there to throw balls to second base. Brian Babcock. Let's not forget. If we sign Correa and hang on to Escobar, Escobar's the perfect utility off the bench DH. Correa and Escobar together is the real prize. Well, he might be moved, Let me take a look at him because I think he has another year on his contract. Let me just take a look because I'm always curious about this. I should know this better than I do. Eduardo Escobar has a 2 year let me see, has 2 more years on his contract. Let me get a little more detail on him. I'm a big fan of his, by the way, because he handled things really well um, most of the season, especially when he's struggling. And I would mention he did play well against San Diego. He did play well against San Diego. Went 3 for 9, had a home run, 2 RBI. So he had a good postseason. Let me look at his salary. So make sure. Yeah, the Mets have a team option on Escobar for $9 million for 24, and $9.5 million on him for 23. So we're not talking about a big contract here. So they could hold on to him, but he is a very valuable player. I would hold on to him because he's going to play. Because the way Correa is, he's going to get hurt. Correa is going to get hurt. I can guarantee you that. You know. Hello, Ron Regan. Hello, Todd Licata. Todd says Dom wasn't that great on defense. He's very overrated. He was very overrated. He's slick, and when you look slick, people think that you're better than you are. He's with the glove, making these fancy moves when he catches a ball. Just catch it. You need Keith Hernandez, for God's sake. Just looking at a couple of things here. And of course, please like this video, like the live stream, subscribe to the channel. Not going to be on too long. I'll be back again tomorrow. So you get to hear me and see me again. Sorry. Sorry. Let me just check something. No, he could not. He couldn't hit. Yes, please subscribe. Channel's doing really well. I can thank Carlos Correa for his drama, for helping the channel out the last 2 days. We're at almost 100 subs in here. Or 80 subs, I think it is. So, very close to 3,000 subscribers. And also, I did a video earlier today. Please check it out. I did like early in the morning, I think, around 11 o'clock. Please check it out. Got a lot of views on it, and it's doing really well. And I would hope that you watch it. And if not otherwise, well, that's fine. But yeah, so with this channel, just so you know, I try to do regular videos every day if I can. Especially during the baseball season. I might be the one channel that doesn't just do rumors. I do, I talk about the players, and I do some shorts, but it's sort of like using clips that I find just to sort of show stuff like history and stuff like that. But I haven't done too many live streams. I wanted to do a lot of live streams in the last month, but I haven't been feeling well. I'm feeling a hell of a lot better. And I'm going to be on a lot. Like I said, I'll be on tomorrow afternoon, evening-ish. Let me see. But I'll be on a lot. I'm going to be on tomorrow, late in the afternoon, early evening. I'll be on late in the probably in the evening on Thursday. I won't be on Friday. I don't believe I'll be on Saturday. I will be on Sunday. What time? Don't know yet. But I'm definitely going to be on Sunday. And I'm definitely going to be back on, I think, on Monday. We'll see. Well, thank you, Stoney. I am feeling much better. I had the flu, and I just wasn't feeling well. I had a full physical 2 weeks ago, and I'm okay. So, Brian Babcock. Escobar is the perfect DH for the Mets. If that is true, but he's a good defensive third baseman. He is very good. He's a good defensive player, and he can play second too. He's a second baseman too, by trade. So I mean, he's such a good player, and he's a winning player. He had a great September. Uh, yes, David Cadingo Jr. Have you heard anything about Correa, the man in the Mets, to take it or leave it with his contract? Yes, we've heard it. I mentioned it earlier. That's disgusting. Mets should tell him to go take it and shove it, because he is not a good. He's not as good of a player as some of these other shortstops. He's not as good as Lindor. He's just not. Now I've had a chance to watch Lindor on an everyday basis. I see the value of him as a defensive player, because when he got hurt in 21, the Mets basically stopped winning. You know, and he wasn't hitting, but they were winning, and his defense was very strong. Now his arm is not the greatest. It kind of needs time to warm up. His arm is not his strength as a defensive player. Um, but he's a very good defensive player, and he's got a lot of power for not a guy that's really big. He's got a lot of power from both sides of the plate. So I'm glad I don't like going after players. I sure haven't seen them on a regular basis. So I like the idea of being able to watch these players on a regular basis. I see the value of him as a defensive player. His arm's not the greatest, and I wonder how that's going to hold up over the 10 years of his contract. But his first year was not great with the Mets, but he's been really good for the Mets. Yeah, and Escobar does run fast. David says this. Now, I don't know about that. You sure about that? I think the Mets should leave it. Correa seems like a cancer to his teammates. Well, it's weird that the Twins last year did not do well in the second half. They kind of collapsed. Okay. Two teams that really collapsed in the second half last year were the Brewers and the Twins. Teams that were in first and they didn't play well. Let me take a quick peek. Now, please, of course, subscribe to the Baseball Hut. And if you want to subscribe and want to participate, you got to subscribe. You got to sit here for like 5 minutes. Reason I do that is very simple. Sometimes these bots come in here and they just attack a live stream. And that kind of cuts down on it. Yeah, so last year the Twins were 78 and 84. Wow. Not very good. They should have won more games, but let's see here. I'd not heard that he was a bad clubhouse guy. Okay, they said glowing things about him. Steve Cohen did that. He was a leader, and he's very close with Lindor. So, Ron Regan, I'm a Yankees fan, but do you think the Mets pitching will hold up this year? Well, we're gonna find out. It's really just two pitchers, really. Scherzer and Verlander. I think Verlander will hold up. You just gotta nurse them during the hot days of summer. So you had them there in September, because I know that Verlander missed some time in September. It's really about running out of gas. So I mean that's the one thing I would bring up. But it seems like the rest of the pitching staff should hold up. They have to figure out how to manage Senga, because he pitches once a week. He says it's not going to be a problem. But we'll see. I mean, they're not going. It's just not like a 5-man rotation. They're going to have like 3 or 4 other guys coming in and pitching. That's why losing from Trevor Williams was rough, at least in my regard. At least my feeling. I wish they'd brought him back. There was talk right before he signed with the Nationals that he was going to come back, and I don't know what happened there. But Stony 814, I think signing Nimmo and Diaz was a really smart thing to do. Well, absolutely. Those guys are good. I mean, Nimmo's a great clubhouse guy. I had somebody going after Nimmo, saying he's a POS because he can't throw a runaround. Well, I mean, Greg Ziem says I would like to see another experienced reliever so we don't overwork the stars. That's why they brought in these pitchers from the Marlins. So these guys can be like long guys, especially this Hernandez. I need to see him a little bit more. I don't remember seeing him pitch. Uh, Don Don. Don Don says you should find a way to take callers. That would be really cool. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Nope. See, not everybody likes your host online. And I don't feel like dealing with the comic book weirdos coming in here, calling me and goofing on me, and then doing a live stream about it. I don't think so. What do you think this? What do you think this is? WFAN or getting crank calls? I had no one to screen the calls. And when Mike Francesa was there, he didn't have anybody screening it either. Look, I've not seen this Hernandez. I got to see how he is, but I think they look at him as a guy that they can pitch in a pinch or pitch 2-3 innings. Who knows? We'll find out. Ron Regan says, "What is your prediction for the Mets this year, and how will they finish?" Well, we got 4 more days till the end of the year. I think they'll finish pretty good in the next 4 days. I mean, 4 more days at the end of the year, they should be fine. Everybody should finish in first place in the next 4 days. How about that? Oh, you mean during the season? Who the hell knows? Who knows what they're going to do in 23 right now? I will give you predictions later. I cannot give you a prediction right now because this team's not complete, and the other teams, I don't know what the other teams are doing. So, from Thor, looks more like Odin. How do you feel about McGill? I like his stuff, but he's not a reliever. Okay, he's a starter. Okay, some pitchers can do both. We saw that with Seth Lugo. He was a good reliever and he started. Tyler McGill is not a reliever. He's had injury problems the last 2 seasons. I love his stuff. He needs to learn how to pitch. That's one thing, and how to manage his arm. And I think because of the fact that the Mets and obviously all the teams didn't have a minor league season in 2020, I think that really has hurt his development. And you learn how to pitch in the minor leagues. You learn how to manage your body better. He just didn't have enough innings in the minors. So my attitude about him is he's very talented. He could be a number 2 starter, number 1 starter at times. But you have to manage him because he doesn't have a lot of innings on, a lot of experience. That lack of experience, you see it. Like I said, love his stuff. I love his mentality. Really nasty on the mound, But he needs to sort of learn how to be a professional in terms of, how to manage his body and stuff like that, and how to, learn how to pitch better, especially when he doesn't have his best stuff and when is not thrown as hard. So there's a lot there to his game that is going to improve, and it'll be more consistent. He's going to be inconsistent for another year or 2. Hopefully he doesn't get hurt where he's got to miss significant time. Ron Regan says, as a native Bronx guy, I would love to see a Subway Series again. You know what? I don't. Because I don't want to share any stage with the Yankees now, or the Yankee fans. Because when we had the Subway Series here back in 20 and back in 2000, it wasn't a fun World Series. And the Yankees were just not into the sort of the fun of it. And the Mets were all pissed off that all the press was on them. And the Yankees didn't want to talk about it. So a VIP brand. New person. Put this on here. I think the Mets should just sign Correa at the end of the day. He is Correa and is the bat in the lineup that Uncle Steve is looking for. Yeah, but he's always hurt. He's failed two physicals. Why would you want a guy that's failed 2 physicals? VIP. If that's a lot of people going around the name VIP. Is it Victor? Is it Viptifer? Is it Viptifus? That's a very strange first name, Vip. Yeah, I mean, he's not. You got to be careful. The guy's failed 2 physicals. You know. So you got to be careful with him. I wouldn't go crazy with him. Moving forward. Reben Azab. Okay. One of my favorite subjects, Trevor Bauer. What do you think will happen with Bauer? I personally, I feel like he can kick rocks after doing the Mets dirty that night and selling Mets merch. He's okay. I'm gonna say this. I don't normally curse on this channel, but I will say that here. He's a fucking weirdo. You stay away from him as far as you can. The best thing that ever happened to the Mets over the last 2 years is that he did not sign with the Mets. And he came awfully close to being here. And we can all thank God, if you believe in God, that he did not agree to that deal. Because he would have been a complete, total disaster. And everybody would have been saying, typical Mets, nothing goes right for the Mets. The poor, sad sack Met fans that show the Met fans in the papers, pissed off, their hands in their face. The kids crying in the stands. But that didn't happen. Charlie DiLorenzo. If Mets don't get Correa, this will be the certified LOO. And I'm sorry, Charlie. Those days are over. That would be the best thing that could happen to the Mets. Okay. Now, Charlie comes across as a non-Mets fan because only a non-Mets fan would say that. I'm going to assume that you're another fan, Charlie. This is a non-Mets fan in this chat thinking that this is Family Guy. That this is like Family Guy, okay? This is not Family Guy. Rosie says, John Rosie says, Escobar career too. I said last year, John, and I said that. The Mets need another power hitter on this team. We're talking about 6 more home runs in the lineup. I'm not looking at the batting average. I'm looking at the home run total for the course of the season. But here we have right here a he's got Mets on there. I don't believe him because a Mets fan would not talk like that anymore, unless Charlie is like a Mets fan from the 60s. So only Mets fans from the 60s talk like that. Ron Regan says, how do you feel about the universal DH? I love it. I love it. I'm happy that the DH is gone. I really am. And I love that the shift is gone too. I love it. Thor. You like the Nimmo deal? Bringing him back? Yes. Because there was nobody better than him on the market. You have to do things based on the market. You can't trade a whole bunch of young prospects for Brian Reynolds and basically walk away from what you're trying to do, at least the long term for the Mets in terms of prospects. And he was better than Bellinger. He's better than Michael Conforto, although Conforto's a corner guy now. So, I mean, I have no problem. And I love Brandon Nimmo. He reminds me of Gary Carter in a lot of ways. I could see him being the captain in the next year or two. He needs to play another full season. Mets need to win the World Series, obviously. And then he can start really thinking about making him the captain here. Because he's going to be here a long time now. He's going to finish his career here. AJ Sosa Garcia says, keep Correa. They haven't signed him yet. You can't keep somebody if you have never gotten them. You can't keep someone that hasn't come into your home yet. from Vip Brand. You think the Mets should have signed Conforto again, or was it a good idea to let him go for good? Now, here's the thing about Conforto. The Mets offered him a contract last year before spring training. They offered him a 5-year deal for $100 million. He turned it down. They offered him a 6-year, and he turned it down. And it's like, and he turned it down, and then he came back with a bad season. Then the SOB, the Mets give him a qualifying offer. They wanted him back. They would have taken him back. And he has a bad year, and then he can't sign with anybody because we have the lockout. And look where he signed with the Giants. How much money did he lose with his stupidity? That's a guy that doesn't realize his own market, Swaggenberger says, why not make Alonso the captain? Now, the rumor was that the Mets want to do that. That's not me. Ron Regan, I'm not a Mets fan, but I enjoy your take and the honesty about your team. I will tell you what I think about a player. I am not afraid to say it. Okay? I will tell you what I think about players. Okay? And it's not personal. It's business, not personal. Don't let it get personal, Sonny. You never let it get I don't get personal with the players. I'll tell you what I think about a player. You name a player in the life, no matter who it is and where he plays, whatever team he is, I'll tell you what I think about him. Okay, nobody holds my strings anymore on this side. It may have held my strings on the comic cut. I don't have any strings here. Never did. I never would. Swaggerberg says, why not make Alonso the captain? He's not been here long enough. He's not here long enough. Don, the more I think about it, Devers would fit this team like a glove. I know it might seem weird to propose Alvarez for him, but will he really be that good? Dom, let me tell you something about Dom. Dom was never a guy that was like that. First of all, Dom doesn't, was a player that was a guy that's not athletic. The hell's calling me? The hell is that? So Dom was never like a top prospect like Alvarez is. Let me just get back. Chat's going really well here. New Jersey Swamp Fox says, plus Nimmo's got a great attitude and hustles everything. He does. He's great attitude. Street Avenue says, do you think Marte will resign or should we go younger? Well, Marte's got 3 more years on his contract. Okay, he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Or should we go younger? Street Avenue says Alonso and McNeil will be expensive. Absolutely. That's fine. Let me see. Irresistible chicken sandwich. I'm so excited for Mets ice cream cap on open day. I got one of those caps in my home here. I got a lot of stuff here. Todd Licata, McNeil will be at least 32 when he's a free agent. I don't think he will get a deal like Nimmo. Let me tell you something. McNeil is going to have a market like you've never seen. This guy is going to hit. He's going to have a couple batting titles before he leaves the Mets. That batting title this year is just the beginning. He's just getting warmed up now. He's just getting warmed up. That guy, I'm telling you, he's gonna win another batting title. It's not 2 or 3 of them. I mean, that's how good I think he is as a hitter. So he's just getting warmed up as a bat, as a guy in Major League Baseball. I mean, I'm really telling you that. Hello, Paul Basher. The main issue of Correa isn't the present time or the next couple of years. Thor, he says Dom Smith developed a attitude. Well, I was never a big. The hell's calling me? Excuse me for a minute. Sorry about that. These women, they can't leave me alone. All right. Ron Regan, do you think the Mets will have another 100-win season? We'll see. Winning 100 games is not easy. Last year, I thought they were going to win 85 games. And they played 16 games better than I thought they were going to. But we'll see. I mean, winning 100 games is hard. That's not easy. Will it right? It's a new name. I think Houston might be able to get Brian Reynolds on a trade for one of the Astros starting star pitchers and Chris McCormick and star minor league center fielder Leon. Is Leon like is like a name like Cher? What's his last name? Or is that his last name? I don't know everybody's farm systems, so you gotta like sort of educate your host. Eric Paz says, let's not worry about the wins. Let's worry more about the World Series than the wins. The important thing. His thing. As you know, the Phillies won 87 games. They played in the World Series. So that's important to remember. Randy Fernandez. Now, that's a ridiculous comment, sir. Do you believe that last year was a collapse? No. You win 100 games. That is not a collapse. They had a winning September. They had a couple bad series. Okay. Again, their four best players did not play well in September. And they didn't play well in spots in the last 6 games that were important for the Mets and for the postseason. So I would say no, it wasn't when you win 100 games, it's not a collapse. And I would point out, if it wasn't for this stupid tiebreaker about the records against the teams, which I think is ridiculous. You should play 163. The teams finish with the same record. Keep that in mind. This new rule made it so that they didn't have extra games on that Monday. I think it's a stupid rule. Hulk TV. New to your channel, there are many rumors out there of the Yankees making a huge move to get Reynolds and Mike Trout. I highly doubt it. Hulk. Mike Trout's not going anywhere because he's got so much money coming to him. I don't see him getting moved. He's not getting moved. And his better days are behind him. It just is. We hear these things about the Yankees. The Yankees are very much insecure right now because the Mets have been in the news and they're trying to catch up. Now, Paul, do not bring your past experiences to the channel. When you win 100 games, that is not a collapse. That is ridiculous. That is not a collapse. When one team is playing 800 baseball for 4 months, that is a team catching you. That's not a collapse. Okay? That is not a collapse. Give me a break. All right? Now, I would also point out that there is a lot of rumors. I've not talked much about it. That there was a lot of funny business going on down there in Atlanta. There were a lot of signs being passed around during games against the Mets. Okay. Paul, 2 weeks is not a collapse. Okay. I'm sorry. If you're going to come in here and start belly aching about the last 2 weeks of a team that won 100 games, I'm going to send you off. Okay. And you may not be aware of a place that I have for people, as you knew. But do not bring this stuff into the channel. We're very positive here. Very, very positive here. Do not bring your attitude here. Hold on, I need a drink. Go to some negative place, okay? The Mets are at the beginning of their run. They were going up. They were going up against a team that won the World Series the year before, a team that had a lot of experience in postseason over the last 6 years as a group. Okay, this Mets group did not have that experience. They were running away with this division, and this other team played 800 baseball. Nobody's played 800 baseball over that period of time. Not too many times in the history of baseball. Okay, and that's what we're talking about here. They were caught. They did not collapse. Okay, losing series or getting swept in a series is not a collapse. Sorry. You're dealing with a team with experience, a lot of funny business going on down there in Atlanta. A lot of problems, a lot of issues there. Just saying. And the Mets had a winning record in September. Abdirahman Barry says, is the National League East more competitive than the AL East? The AL East is different. I don't know. You have three big teams in the National League East: the Mets, the Phillies, and the Braves. The Nationals are going to be bad for a long time, and the Marlins will never be good. I would say the American League East because you got 5 teams now that are all good. All good. The Orioles are good. I mean, the Orioles are going to be really tough. I mean, they won 83 games last year, and they didn't make any big moves. I mean, like I said earlier, if there was a player that was perfect for the Orioles, it was Justin Turner. Toronto is good. The Rays seem to have kind of taken a bit of a step. Oh, the Red Sox. I mean, you can talk about the Red Sox. Are going to be so bad. What am I talking about? The Red Sox are going to be so bad in that division. They're going to finish last place. They're going to lose 90 games, easy, if not more. They're going to lose 95 games. The Orioles. They're going to be so bad. I've seen it all. Yeah, I can tell by your picture, Paul. You've seen it all. Sorry. We don't like. It's so weird how the ancient Met fans are so negative. Yeah, and the Yankees are going to be good, but you don't see like a major improvement. In my view, I don't. I'm not sold on. I'm not sold on Garrett Cole. Nobody is here. The Yankee fans hate that guy. They hate Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole. They just hate Cole. They really don't like him. The Blue Jays are interesting because they made a lot of moves, and it does like they brought in Barrios to be one of their stars, and he had just a terrible year for the Blue Jays. Aiden Davala says Rangers signed Nathan Eovaldi. Thor's asking, what funny business in Atlanta? Well, there was a lot of signs being stolen. A lot. I have a video that's on my phone that shows that a lot of signs were being relayed from men on second base. There was a lot of stuff going on in that series. It was weird. Because if you think about it, the Mets took 4 out of 5 from the Braves at Citi Field. And they get swept. They get swept at down in Atlanta. This doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, really, if you want to go historically, the 1951 Giants came back in that race against the Dodgers because they were stealing signs like crazy at the Polo Grounds. So it is a big deal when you're dealing with that stuff. And it is a big deal. If it's not a big deal, then why for the last 5 years, Brian Cashman's been complaining about the Astros? Can somebody explain that to me? Just it is a big deal when you get all these teams complaining. I would hold off on Nestor or whatever the hell his name is, Nestor Cortez. Be very careful on him. I don't think he's going to be around that long as a pitcher. I don't know why. You got that. You got that right here. Right here. Because that's the truth. Now, of course, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. I could be doing this too much longer. But I'll be back again tomorrow. Or until this saga is over. See if anything news on Twitter. If anything. Nothing new. Nothing new at the moment. That's a good question. Probably Scherzer because he's been here. Hold on a second. All right, sorry about that. I had to take care of something. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. That absolutely right there, Barry. What's going to happen now without being able to throw over more than twice? Stolen bases are going to go up. And the distance between the bases is going to be shorter now. You're going to see. Now, here's the thing: the umpiring is so bad. It has been so bad, and it's not just the balls and strikes. The umpiring has been so bad. From Randy, the Mets definitely in a bat. Their lineup compared to the other National League contenders isn't great. Only Lindor and Alonso scares teams with the long ball. They did okay for most of the season. You can always bring in a power hitter at the end of the year. Met farm system is much better shape than it was last year, and they're gonna get a really good draft. In July. I'm sorry, Alden. Me being a Yankee fan, what else should they do? That's a good question. They could use another bat in that lineup. They could use a left-handed bat in that lineup. They let him go to San Francisco when they didn't sign Mike Conforto. He definitely should have been back with the Yankees. They didn't sign him. I don't know why. Willett Wright says one thing Verlander did is one those two sides with that incredible infield Houston has. Now the Mets have a good infield too, defensively. Mets have a good defensive team. I mean, they are really, Lindor is strong. McNeil's a very good defensive player. Should have won the Gold Glove. Guillorme should have won a Gold Glove. Guillorme should have won the utility Gold Glove, and McNeil should have won second base. Why they didn't get a sniff is beyond me. And Lindor should have gotten a lot of votes. He didn't. He didn't even get nominated. And Alonso is very underrated defensively. Very underrated. And they were good with Escobar at third. Aiden says, "Do you like the Rodon sign?" Yeah, I guess. I mean, they need another starter in there. You know, but he's never won a Cy Young. He's been okay. He's been really good the last 2 years, but he's had injury issues, like a lot of people do, like a lot of these pitchers do. Aiden Davila, who has a better starting rotation, the Yankees or the Mets? I don't know. I never think about things like that. They're about equal. I think they're about equal. Aberdera Ham Barry says, "Can Francisco Alvarez handle the talented arms on the roster or too inexperienced?" He is 20 years old, so he probably needs more time in the minor leagues to learn how to take care of a pitching staff, how to handle guys from every day. I mean, they seem like his defense is a little behind his bat. I will say that he's very confident at the plate. He had a lot of good pitches in that first game he had good pitches to hit against the Braves in that series, but he didn't know the hitter. He didn't know the pitchers. I think if he, with a little more experience, I think he kills, and I think he's big in those spots. He's an unknown factor in the Mets, to be honest with you now. I think people sort of forgotten about him a little bit. I think that he's going to surprise people in terms of just, I don't think anybody's really talking about him now like they were. So I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. From Aiden Davila, Rangers are getting better with starting pitching. Well, they have a good farm system. Hold on, I need a drink. The Rangers do have a very good farm system. They got Jack Leiter, they got Kuma Rocker. But they're looking. The dangerous 75 wins. I don't know how much. There's 75 win team. You know. And Randy, I have a bet with my Yankee fan cousin on Quintana pitching an ERA under 4. I think he will, but cousin thinks he sucks. You think he will pitch an under 4 ERA? Let me take a look at him. I think he had a good ERA last year. Let's see. He had a 2.93 ERA. Pitched really well with the Cardinals. The big reason they went to postseason is he pitched really well with St. Louis. He didn't pitch well in 21. Didn't pitch much in 20. Since his career ERA is under 4, I say he'll be under 4. The Internet Tattletale says the Ranger system is not good. No, but they have high-end pitching talent. And Jack Leiter and Kuma Rocker, and they have other pitchers there. So they're getting there. Paul asked me, does Alvarez start with the big club or more time in AAA? I think it depends on the spring training that he has. If they feel comfortable about him being on the team, he'll be on the team. Brian says, while hope in Alvarez is high, his stint last year with the big club was uneventful. It was 6 games, man. That's not much of a judge. That's a little unfair. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to read you an article about Correa. This is recently written by Mike Puma of the New York Post. 1 week after Steve Cohen's late night sweet talk with a prominent agent, it wasn't Jake from State Farm. The drama isn't about the Cohen's next acquisition might be, but whether we'll actually see Correa wearing a Mets uniform in 23. Tuesday was another day of silence. I don't think the silence going past it's not a good thing. It's great for the channel. Tuesday was another day of silence from both the Mets and Correa's camp as the two sides try to find resolution to the sticking point that prevented him from finalizing his deal with the Giants last week. Following a physical exam, there is obvious concern by the Mets that Correa's right leg, which contains a metal plate near the ankle, isn't up to withstand the rigors that would come with trying to fulfill a 12-year contract worth $315 million. It's dicey. He's only 28 and has the potential to elevate a Mets line that was fifth in MLB in scoring last season, but appeared overmatched in the most important games, both against the Braves near the regular season conclusion and in the wild card round of the playoffs against the Padres. The flip side is the risk of breakdown. At some point, that could lead the Mets paying for a player who isn't physically capable of performing. It behooves both sides to find a solution that turns the engagement into marriage. Breaking up shouldn't be an option. Sometimes breaking up is not a bad thing. Correa wants to get paid and win. He isn't going to find a better opportunity than with the Mets, who are in the process of an overhaul under Cohen that has escalated the payroll beyond 350. More than doubling the amount the team was spending on salaries only 3 years ago under the Wilpon Cats ownership. Also, hello, Roberto Diniz Jr. Also, if he were to leave, where would he turn after agreeing to terms with two teams this offseason, finalizing a deal with neither? He seems to understand the Mets are his best option, isn't looking to negotiate elsewhere. But if he sticks to the idea that the length of the contract and dollars remain the same, this could take a while. Likewise, the Mets are trying to win the World Series next season, when Verlander will be 40 and Scherzer will be 39. Correa joins it, blah, 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 blah. If this were early in the winter, the Mets could just move in a different direction. But with the larger ticket items already removed from the board, it's probably Correa or stick with some combination of Eduardo Escobar and Luis Guillorme for next season, as Brett Beatty attempts to show he is ready. That is a solid option, but given your choice with a swashbuckling owner who doesn't seem to care about costs, Correa should be the starting third baseman. This is where the relationship Cohen and Boras have developed over the last 2 winters can benefit the team and player. Cohen and Boras seem to generally like each other and play well together. It's a perfect fit with the owner's unmatched wealth in the sport and the unrivaled and the agent's unrivaled I haven't read this, so unrivaled stable of clients. Now these Titans need to bring Correa and the Mets together. On Monday, a source with knowledge of the situation told me there was a 55% chance they would finalize the deal. That was a numerical way of saying it's more likely than it occurred not, but hardly a slam dunk. As ecstatic as fans were when they woke last Wednesday to discover he had reached agreement with the team, the roar would only increase with a finalized deal. I don't know about that. Cohen can announce it as the ball's dropping on Times Square on Saturday night. Time to get 55% to 100. Well, I would not have a problem with him not being here. I'm not a big fan of this. Again, so just keep that in mind. So if you come in here thinking that I'm going to wax poetic about this particular player, just understand I look at things very differently. We'll see. I mean, it's. I thought we would have had a resolution to this today. I thought we would have heard something about Correa with the Mets. Very surprised, to be honest with you, that has not been finalized. So I didn't think that Correa would play hardball with the team. To be honest with you, I thought that Correa they were gonna come up with some kind of agreement, some kind of meeting of the minds, and that has not happened as of yet. So I don't know where we're going now. I think it's less than 55% that he signs with the Mets, if you want my honest opinion. I don't see him signing here now, as in terms of just the percentage wise. I think it's dropping. So I don't know where the Mets are going to go if he leaves. And here's the thing, he failed two physicals, so just keep that in mind with the Mets. Aiden says, I heard on Twitter that the Yankees and the Braves have called about Correa. I really doubt that. I think the Braves are not going to spend that money. And the Yankees would look stupid if they were to do that because of the fact that they've been complaining about the Astros for 5 years. And about this player in particular, who's really at the center of all this. He's the one that just, I don't give a shit. We cheated. I'm glad we did. So I think the Yankees would look foolish. I don't think the Mets would look foolish for walking away. The guy failed two physicals. And again, how many 28-year-old people fail physicals? Not many. And he would have failed 2 in a week. So it tells you that leg is a real problem. So again, if you run in a business and you deal with athletes, and the guy's failed 2 physicals in a week, you're going to sign him, and he doesn't want to back down in terms of the money. Then let him walk. I mean, the Mets don't need him. He needs the Mets. I think we sort of have established that. The Mets do not need him. He needs us. Never forget that. Never, ever forget that. That's for damn sure. I would say Devers is a better fit for the Mets than Ohtani, but Ohtani's going to be here. I think there's no doubt about that. Ohtani will be with the Mets next year because it's not going to be an issue with the money. The guy wants to be on a winning team. He's been a loser for all these years. Now they've brought in some role players to help that group out, but I don't know if they're good. If they're good enough. And that pitching's not great. Alan says, you believe the Yankees have a big move coming? Yes. You know why I think that? Because they're so pissed off about the Mets, what they've been doing, that I think that they have to make a big move. I mean, the fact that they came out last week and was calling themselves the flagship of baseball, that tells you everything you need to know about their mentality, that they are beyond angry that the Mets have been doing so well. And have become the talk of the town, and become the team now in town. Yankees don't like that. George wouldn't like that. So I expect him to do something. What it is, probably Brian Reynolds, I would think. Hey, Brian Cashman, what do you think? Now, Brian, what do you think about about signing Aaron Judge to this long-term deal? How Steinbrenner, Yeah, I mean, the Yankees don't like the fact that the Mets are doing as well as they have. And I would mention about Randy Levine, he was hired by George Steinbrenner. So he has that mentality. All right. Now, I'm going to end the live stream, I think, now. I thank you for coming by. Thank you all the people that have been subscribing today. Unbelievable how many people have subbed to the channel today. 55 people have subbed just today. Yesterday, 36. 36 people subscribed yesterday. Let me just double check the number. So 90 people, 91 people have subscribed to this channel in the last 24 hours. I can't thank you enough. So it's been a wild day and a half here, and we're getting very close to 3,000 subscribers, which is very exciting to me because I've been in the 2000s for quite a while. Hopefully we'll get to 5,000. I'm hoping that by the time we get to spring training, this channel will be at 4,000 subs. Alden Davila. Now, I'm going to be honest. I like to see this go on for another day. I like to see that this stretch out to Thursday, to be honest with you. Was everybody so interested? And the algorithm is going crazy for Carlos Correa and coming in here and watch him and me giving you updates. Now, maybe I'll do a video later and have it for tomorrow. We'll see. Just a regular 4 or 5 minute video for you. But I hope that Correa, doesn't sign with the Mets until Thursday. The Braves aren't going to sign him. I don't see him going to the Yankees. The Yankees will trade some of these vaunted prospects that they've been bragging about for the last 2 or 3 years. They'll trade to to Pittsburgh. They'll get Brian Reynolds, and those players that the Yankees trade will be nothing. The Yankees trade nobody that's any good. Think about the last time they traded somebody that was any good. Well, Todd, I don't get antsy, okay? Just stick by me and we'll be fine. And you've been on this with me on this channel for a long time. Hey, let him CT cards. Let him go back to the Twins. They did offer him 10 years. And that's like being with somebody for like a year and then you leave. I don't feel like being with you anymore. Then he tries to go back. He tries to go to like some real diva that everybody knows, pretty, and that doesn't. It's like, let me come back to you, honey. It's kind of how what's going on here. Aiden DeVille, the Giants take him back? I don't know. They'd have to really rework the contract. What's he going to do? He's going to take a third physical with another team, and he fails that too. That's the problem too. Is that he's dug in. He's not giving up any kind of he's not giving the Mets a discount now. So that's a problem. So, well, again, thank you all for coming by. We'll be back again tomorrow. I'll be back again tomorrow. And I thank you all for coming by and subscribing to this channel. The channel is going crazy. Channel is going absolutely crazy over the last 2 days, and it's because you've been watching my videos and participating in the live streams. I can't thank you enough. And again, we'll be back again tomorrow. I'll probably record a video before I go to bed and have that for tomorrow. Probably in the morning. And you need to just sort of stick around and watch it. And I will be back tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon, maybe around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We'll do a live stream. Hopefully, we won't have, for selfish reasons, no resolution on Carlos Correa because people are going crazy for this. So, thank you for watching the live stream. Please like the video before you leave. And, of course, hello, Matthew Landau. Welcome. I'm leaving. Oh, really, Hulk TV? This is like your first time here. When the Mets win and the Yankees lose, that is a good day. This is the biggest Yankee hater Met fan you'll ever find on YouTube. Hulk TV. Since this is your first day here, I will just assume you don't know. You sound like a Yankee hater. Well, yes, you heard right. There's no diplomacy when it comes to the Yankees. When you have Yankee fans being assholes to you for the last 20 years, pulling out history books, you'll have a different attitude. You'll have a very different attitude. But, of course, please subscribe. Because I'll tell you what I think about all the players. So, but again, when the Mets win and the Yankees lose, it's a good day. And the Mets have been kicking ass and they've been winning a lot and they've been great days. And it's going to continue. They didn't fire the general manager. They didn't fire the inept manager that they have up there. And I know a lot of Yankee fans are not happy that Boone is still around. So, just to explain to you. And, of course, this is the Baseball Hut. Thank you for watching. Watch me on replay if you missed most of the show. Thank you. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.